You're listening to Thrive Now with Dr. J. Calvin Tibbs.
Happy Father's Day, young and old. Wherever you may be listening from, I got a word for you in Psalms 127 and verse 4. And it says, like arrows in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of one's youth. I'll say it again. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are the children of one's youth. What? I know. What it means in a nutshell is now that you're in your 20s or in your 30s, you may even be in your 40s. If you're old enough to provide the seed that provides the child, you are a mighty man and are considered, if you will, a youth. Realizing in the Old Testament that some folks lived to 900 years old. They were young when they were 600. They were young when they were 200. You're young if you're in your 20s or in your 30s. But what's up with the arrow in the hands? Well, arrows were used in warfare. They were normally pulled from a quiver and then fired to a location. Found out that arrows changed warfare because line of sight was no longer required. In other words, if you're fighting hand to hand, you see your opponent. If you're fighting with a hatchet, you're seeing your opponent. But when you begin to fire an arrow over a mountaintop where nobody can see it, arrows changed warfare. So do your children. You may not see 60 years from now, because if you're 20, 60 years from now, you're 80. But 60 years from now, your 2-year-old child is only 62. Over the hill, warfare unseen, not even visible at a certain point when your children likely outlive you. So as a mighty man holding arrows in your hand, where are you shooting your children? In other words, where are they headed based upon you? Your words, your leadership, your example. Where are they headed? I'll tell you what, they're headed exactly where you are currently aiming them, with your words, with your actions, with your motivations. So I encourage you to be a mighty Psalms 127 and verse 4 man. As children are in the hands of a mighty man, or as arrows are in the hands of a mighty man, so are children of one's youth. I encourage you, have a happy Father's Day. Point those children and shoot them in the direction that your DNA is basically going to continue to speak even when you're no longer here. See you next time on Thrive Now.
You're listening to Thrive Now with Dr. J. Calvin Tibbs. Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.